For the first time since 2009, the Indianapolis Colts are 2-0 on the season with Daniel Jones being their starting quarterback, and I am so happy for Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. I said this in the offseason. I'm going to say it again. This is the perfect situation for Daniel Jones to be placed into. He never had a very talented team with the New York Giants. He always dealt with terrible offensive line protection. Yes, they had Andrew Thomas, but that's just one very good offensive lineman. The rest of the offensive linemen were terrible. His best player on the offensive end was Saquon, and he's one of the best running backs in the game, one of the best players in football. But he never had consistent wide receivers on the outside. When they finally drafted him, a number one wide receiver, it was his last year with the New York Giants. So he comes over to the Indianapolis Colts. He has a very good offensive mind as a head coach in Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen is one of the best offensive minds that we have in today's game because of the work that he did with Justin Herbert with the Los Angeles Chargers and what he did a few years later with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. He helped Jalen Hurts get that massive contract extension. They went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City in that first matchup, and if it wasn't for that Jalen Hurts fumble and that holding penalty by the defense late in the fourth quarter, Philadelphia possibly wins that Super Bowl. He called up an elite game plan against Kansas City, and they had one of the best defenses in the NFL at the time. The problem with the Indianapolis Colts has been this: the quarterback position. Since Andrew Luck retired in the preseason many years ago, you have started 11 different quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson. Those are just some of the names. Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz. And you bring in Daniel Jones. At this point in time, a lot of people, they're very skeptical. They're saying you're bringing in this guy that was a bust with the New York Giants, and you guys can go back and listen to this video. I said that he was the right quarterback to start over Anthony Richardson because he's a better player. He can put the football where it needs to be. He's not going to stand in your way. He can be that elite game manager, and if you need some yards on the ground, he can be that solid athlete for you. He can move inside and outside the pocket at a very good level. So he comes out against the Miami Dolphins, has a very good game, and the Miami Dolphins, right now, they're a bad football team, especially in the back end of their defense, but you can't help who you play. He was 22 of 29, 272 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown to 0 interceptions. But against the Denver Broncos today, this was the biggest test for all the Daniel Jones critics and all the Indianapolis Colts haters. He goes against a elite level defense. They win this matchup 29-28. He was 23 of 34. 316 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown to 0 interceptions. And that's the key here. 0 turnovers. He had a turnover problem with the New York Giants, but better offensive line protection and a consistent run game and consistent wide receivers can help you out in that department. And part of the reason why they won this matchup, the kicker with the Denver Broncos, he missed his field goal. Here comes Daniel Jones. He goes out there. He pushes Indy into field goal range. The Indianapolis Colts kicker, he misses the field goal, but you see a flag in the middle of the field. The Denver Broncos, it's a penalty, 15-yard penalty. You touch the center. You can't use leverage of someone else against the opposing player. That's what happened. So let's redo the kick. The Indianapolis Colts go out there. They make their field goal. The game is over. The kicker, he saved the day, but Daniel Jones did every single thing right. He runs the offense to a T right now currently, and we do have 15 more games to play in this season. Will he have some bad moments? Sure. But I don't think that he'll play as bad with Indy as he played with the New York Giants because the team overall is better on the offensive end and the same on the defensive end. And when I look at the AFC South right now, the only competition for Indy, and I mean this in the most respectful way towards Jaguar fans and the same with Tennessee Titan fans, would be the Houston Texans. The Texans have an amazing defense, but their offensive line is one of the worst offensive line units in football. If you can pressure CJ at a high rate over and over again, you have a good shot to win that football game. And the Indianapolis Colts, they have invested a lot of draft capital in their front seven with Kwity Paye, who's a very good pass rusher. You have Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, very good run stoppers. They can also push the pocket on the interior, especially DeForest Buckner. You have Latu, who got the interception last week over Tua. He's in year number 2, was a very good player his rookie season last year coming out of UCLA. You have Samson Ebukam. He's a very good rotational pass rusher. Zaire Franklin is a very good linebacker in terms of stopping the run. If you run a bunch of screens, he's going to be there to stop the screens. He's an amazing tackler, and he can make some moves against the pass game. On the back end of your defense, you bring in Charvarius Ward. Javarius Ward was a number one cornerback with the San Francisco 49ers over the last 2 years. He dealt with a lot of problems last year off the field away from the 49ers, and he was out in today's matchup against the Denver Broncos, but he's a phenomenal corner to have. Cameron Bynum, his first 2 games have been special. An interception last week against Tua, an interception this week. Then he goes out there, he gets to celebrate with the mascot, Big Blue. I love to see moments like that because it helps make the team fun and it brings in a different energy because they are winning right now. And you see Daniel Jones, he's on the sideline, he's smiling, he's happy. I'm a sucker for these type of stories. You also signed Xavier Howard, not the same player that he was 3 years ago, but he's a solid veteran corner to keep on the back of your defense. And you have Kenny Moore. This is a sneaky good defense that the Colts have in this division. And if you can defeat teams like the Denver Broncos, who were red hot last year on the back half of the season, the sky could be the limit for the Colts. And I'm not saying that they're going to go out there and make this deep playoff run. They're going to be Super Bowl contenders. But it just shows you how well they have actually drafted at the skill position and the same on the defensive end. Quarterback has just been the biggest problem. And this can also still help out Anthony Richardson. This should have been the plan to begin with. You bring in that veteran presence that has NFL experience. He gets to play with these playmakers. He has Jonathan Taylor in the backfield to take the pressure off of him. And you draft AR in the first round. You let him develop 2 to 3 years. So down the line, when he comes in, it can be that Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers type of effect to where he's set back and he's seen so much football. He knows what to do. He knows not what to do because Anthony Richardson did not play much at the college level. But Indy was so desperate to hit a home run. I still believe that Anthony Richardson could be a good player in this league. He just needs time to sit and develop. And Daniel Jones is going to help him with that by staying the starter for as long as possible. I'm not giving up on Anthony Richardson. I just saw Josh Allen a few years back be a terrible player those first 2 years. He had some good moments, had some bad moments, but now you look at Josh Allen. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Statistically, right now as I record this video, he is the best quarterback in football because they let him sit back and they let him develop. That's all you have to do. So this is one of those situations you can make a playoff push with Daniel Jones if he continues to play at this level and you can develop that monster on the bench. But Jonathan Taylor has been awesome so far the first 2 games. Michael Pittman Jr. is a true number 1 wide receiver. You can't match him up in one-on-one situations at the goal line. So you have to pick your poison here. Alec Pierce is a speed monster on the outside. In the interior of this offense, in the slot position, you have Josh Downs, just a phenomenal slot wide receiver. And you have A.D. Mitchell, who's a smooth route runner and has better hands this year than he had last year. A.D. Mitchell is a very underrated player. And I'm surprised that this offensive line has played this well. You lost Ryan Kelly, your center, to the Minnesota Vikings. You lost Will Fries, your starting right guard, to the Minnesota Vikings. But you still have Quentin Nelson, one of the best guards in the game, Bernard Raymond at the left tackle position, and Braden Smith at the right tackle position. This is a very good offense. And they've drafted very well at the skill position and where it matters the most up front. And Tyler Warren, he's going to be a beast. Brock Bowers had a historic season last year with the Las Vegas Raiders. I would not be surprised if Tyler Warren is the best receiver on this team at the tight end spot. That is how talented he is coming out of Penn State because you don't even have to be accurate with Tyler Warren. He's just this big physical tight end that can win those one-on-one situations. You can't put a safety on him. He's bigger than him. You can't put a linebacker on him because he's faster than him. You could put him inside the slot. This is a man that had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and obviously receiving touchdowns coming out of his last year at Penn State out of college. That is rare. He was a versatile weapon, and Shane Steichen is going to use him like that. The Indianapolis Colts right now, you build off this momentum. Jim Irsay sadly did pass away, and RIP to Jim Irsay, so you have a different ownership group right now with his daughters. They're going to take over. But if Daniel Jones can continue to play like this at this level, if they make an NFL playoff appearance, it will save the jobs of Shane Steichen and the same with Chris Ballard at the GM spot. And hopefully it will give Anthony Richardson that time to sit back and develop. And I love stories like this because it falls to the same category with Baker Mayfield, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look at him with the Browns, up and down moments. They kicked him out the door for Deshaun Watson. Goes to the Carolina Panthers, things didn't work out. They axed him. Got rid of him. Goes to the Los Angeles Rams. They liked him with the Rams. They didn't see him as a franchise quarterback long term. Now he's with the Buccaneers. He's found a home. Geno Smith, journeyman for many, many years. Goes to the Seattle Seahawks, the right situation, finds a home for a few years. Sam Darnold, journeyman, another guy. Goes to the Minnesota Vikings last year, has a career year, has parlayed that over to a very good contract with the Seattle Seahawks. Hopefully the same thing can happen with Daniel Jones, but they're going to keep him upright, and Shane Steichen's going to get the best out of him and the rest of these offensive players. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Indianapolis Colts moving forward? And currently, they lead the AFC South division. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.